Yo, what up, everybody? Welcome back to the That Talk podcast. I'm your host, Nate. Today, I'm just going to be giving you guys another word of encouragement. I finally am starting to get more locked in with my message, lately. And, when I started the podcast and when I started on this, self development journey that I decided I wanted to help people using my experiences and the things that I've seen in life. I didn't really know what my message was, and to be honest, like at the beginning, it was more of like a self-serving thing. Like, I wanted to be seen, in a certain light. Like, obviously, I'm helping people, but why am I really helping people? And the more that I get into this, I think my vision becomes more clear. So today, I just want to talk to you guys about stories, and I think that one of the most powerful things that we can experience in this life is a really, really, really good story. And what I mean by that is, um, I always use the book or the movie example, but when you have these great movies, when you have these great books, um, it's beginning, middle, end, right? And the middle is always the climax, which is, like I say in life, is the adversity. So say you were to, go through some shit and you are writing a book about your life, right? Let's just say that your life is the piece of art that you are to share. So your story is the creativeness, is the book, is the movie that you can share to help other people. I heard a quote the other day that said, use one's experiences to the highest degree of others. Meaning, when you go through some shit, when you see some adversity, when you go through hard times, when you figure out a problem, help other people get through the same thing that you got through. And how did you get through it, right? That's why the That Talk podcast, this is about the internal dialogue, that talk that I had with myself during the times of adversity, and the talk that I continue to have with myself during times of adversity, during times when the shit's hard, during times when I don't feel like it. I have all these feelings. No one's different here. It's just the choices that we make and the decisions that we make in order to get to where we want to go. So what I really want to do is just encourage you guys to have this perspective. And the perspective is that your whole life, imagine you are living it as if you had to tell your story. I heard Jordan Peterson say that. Live in a way where you wanted to, or act as if you had to tell your story, because every move that you make, I believe that if you understood or you grasped this concept or you took this concept seriously, that you had to tell this at the end, when they go to pull the plug on you, or whatever analogy that you want to use, when you go to tell your story, if you knew your entire life up to this point that you had to, that someone was to force you to tell your story, you would live life way more intentional. You would live life way more purposeful. You would live life way more meaningful, and you would do things differently. So imagine this. Imagine because you are, okay? You are the author to your own story. Imagine your life as a book. Imagine your life as a movie. And I've said this before about the books that nobody reads, or the movies that nobody finishes, because if the character was to go through the adversity and he just said fuck it and gave up, no one's finishing that book. No, everyone's turning off that movie and they're walking out of the theater. So construct your life in a way that you are proud of your story. You want to tell it. And also too, one thing I realized, like I said in the beginning, um, as I get more deep into this industry, I think my message and my vision gets more clear. Understand this. Stop being so selfish. And I mean this in every sense. And I was actually working with somebody one-on-one the other day, and I said, the times that I have not wanted to record the podcast, the times that I've not wanted to edit a YouTube video or shoot a YouTube video or post an Instagram post, I realize in that moment, I'm thinking about myself, but the self-development content is geared and it's towards other people and helping other people grow and helping other people get out of suffering, because that's what I believe that my message is for. Is I've suffered, I don't want you to suffer. Here's how I have personally done it through my experiences. So how can you possibly say that you want to help people and want to serve people, but when you don't do these things, you think about your fucking self? And that's really what it is. So constructing the story to understand that, again, when you hit these adversities, what do? You go into panic, right? You go into, holy shit, what am I going to do? I don't know how I'm going to come up with this. I don't know how I'm going to come up with that. How are we going to get through this? Fuck it, I'll just quit. You must understand that you quitting is actually a selfish act. Because one, you've all heard this, I know this. There's people that believe in you, that are counting on you to be the person that you're supposed to be. So imagine you, as you sit right now, there is a better version of you, right? And there's always a better version of you. That's just endless growth is what you should see. Happiness comes from growth. Tony Robbins says that. So there's always a better version of you. Every time you unlock a new version, every time you level up, there's a new group of people that you're able to serve, because everyone is on a different level. Everyone's vibing at a different frequency. Everyone's on a different wave. So with that being said, every time you level up, there's people that are, and this is a very relative term, so don't take this very serious. There's people that are quote unquote underneath you. And I don't mean that in a way that they're not worthy, but I mean that in a way that they want to get where you're at. So when those type of people want to get where you're at, you are now able to help them. So you unlock a new group of people that you are able to service. But if you come to these points of adversity and you quit, you're fucking selfish, because then these people never get the help that you're able to give them by sharing your experiences and how you got to where you're at. So the whole idea of this, and what's crazy is it seems so simple now to me, is level up your entire life and help people do the same. You don't have to apply any thought to this. Just continue to level up and then help people on the way. And I realize also, every man that I look up to, that I don't want to be him, but I want to emulate his actions of service. He has a fucking crazy story. These stories that are told around the world about people, right? Just a few people off the top of my head: Eric Thomas, Ed Milet, David Goggins, right? Guys is savage. Wes Watson. Whoever it is that you look up to. I look up to many people in the self-development field, but one thing I will say is that their story is told around the world, and their story is fucking crazy. Eric Thomas was homeless, right? Ed Milet went through crazy career where he, was so tied up in his career, has a net worth of 500 million. Now all he does is self-development, because he realized that the true currency is inspiring somebody else. So, I can take all this game from these guys and understand their story is so great. Why is their story so great? Because they push through the adversity. Everyone that you admire is like this rose grown from the concrete story, right? You love that. It's like, wow, these fucking guys really believed in themselves and they never quit. They had an unwavering, especially men, being in alignment with an energetic point with other men. You're like, you look up to them and you respect them, not because of their stature, not because of their money, not because of anything that's material or fleshly. Sure, you may like those things, but what is the true reason that you look up to these men? It is their unwavering ability to get what they want regardless of the situation or circumstance. That is what you truly seek. You seek respect. We think that it comes from the material items. We think that you got a nice car and you have nice clothes and you have jewelry, that people respect you. But how do you get that shit in the first place? You must do something great, right? If these items are limited, that means the people that are buying them are limited. That means it's the 99%, or I'm sorry, the 1% versus the 99%. So what does it take to be the person that you look up to? You must look up to yourself. Stop looking for other people for inspiration. Stop looking for other people for motivation. Sure, this is great to learn. Again, just as you will share your experiences with other people, they are sharing their experiences with you. You take it, you digest it, you use it as fit for your life, and you continue to grow yourself and then share. Ideas are not new. Every idea is recycled. We are sharing our experiences from these ideas that is now our own, based on what we've seen and our perspective on life. So this is the real message here for you guys, is really understand that quitting is selfish. Okay. um, Giving up through adversity, knowing that if you have, whatever it is that you believe in, a lot of people, God will test you. The universe gives you the lessons you need, those ideas. If it is that the God is testing you, or the universe is giving you something that you need in that moment in time that you're supposed to go through to learn something, understand that. You have to do this. You have to go through this. Why? So you can make it out the other side and serve the people that are stuck on the other side of the wall that you just climbed, right? Um, construct your story. Construct your story to the life and at exactly how you want to live it, right? Understand that the biggest mistake that people do with success is defining it. Success does not have to look a certain way. You doing what you think life is supposed to be about, and you telling your truth and living life in your truth, that is success, regardless of how much money you're making, regardless of what fucking car you drive, regardless of all the material bullshit. Understand this. You are successful if you are living in your truth, 100% complete fulfillment and authenticity. That is what life is truly about. So I just wanted to do a short message for you guys. Understand this. Be the person that you look up to. When you look in the mirror, look at that motherfucker and say, I am proud of you. You haven't quit. You haven't folded. We've always been able to count on you, right? And what else can we do? How else can we continue to help people? How else can we keep continuing to reach more people and touch more lives? Continue to level up. The more you level up, the bigger audience you get, the more people that are, again, are on that other side of the fence that you just crossed, that every time you level up, you have a greater audience you can help, right? Starting all the way from, if you've been at rock bottom, you're helping people from rock bottom all the way up until whatever level of spiritual, financial, and physical growth you're at. Crazy to even think about. So I hope you guys are continuing to live in your greatness. I hope you guys are continuing to cultivate your gifts. As always, this will be on Apple Podcasts. We will have it on Spotify and YouTube, and I will catch you guys in the next one.